what is your field of study?
So I'm studying mathematics. In particular, I've been working with a team on Diophantine equations and other topics around Hilbert's 10th problem.
And what is that?
So Diophantine equations are polynomial equations with integer coefficients that one estimates or one looks at with respect to solving in the natural numbers or in the integers.
Okay. So how did you hear about the Heidelberg Laureate Forum and decide to apply?
So I was told about it by Dirk Schleicher. He's a professor at my university, but I actually met him before at my high school, and so I got to know him better, and he, well, mentored the project that we've been working on.
And did you apply right away, or what was the application process like for you?
Well, so he told me about where I can register. So I looked it up, what the formalities are, and I wrote my application. And then I asked him to also write a recommendation letter for me, which he did. And well, then I sent in my application.
So you made it in the first time?
Yeah, I think that. So I mean, you only have one chance for 1 year.
Oh,
but yeah.
Now, as I understand, you're actually younger than many of the researchers here.
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Tell me about the interaction with the other researchers that you've had.
It's really inspiring to meet people from many different countries and also from, well, many different fields. I've talked to other young researchers working in AI. Most of them are currently doing their PhD or already in a postdoc positions. But yeah, the range is just very wide, from topics like AI and computer science, or even very applied topics like system architecture, but also including many topics in mathematics, some number theory, stochastics, and so on.
Were there any laureates in particular that you really wanted to talk to when you came here?
So originally I was not really sure whom I will talk to, but the lectures really were inspiring. And for example, John Hopcroft's lecture I really liked a lot, and then later I asked him some questions on his topic. And also Leslie Lampert is sort of, well, also having an interesting idea on how the future of mathematical proof will develop. So I talked to him about this topic, which also is somewhat connected to research that I did in my group.
Do you think that the things that you talked with them about will change your approach when you get back?
Well, it's a bit tricky to see that now, but I think that, well, over time, the ideas will definitely have an impact, and might also help to just look at some problem from another perspective.
That's one thing that people here have talked about, how it's unusual to have the math and computer science people together. And as I understand, you originally were interested in computer science.
Yes.
So you were already exposed to many of these ideas, but perhaps not in as much depth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was there anything here that really surprised you or appealed to you that you weren't expecting?
I think the laureates are real experts, and they really have very reasonable and elaborate opinions on the topics they are working on. And of course they are now the current status of research, but well, that's also what you learn when looking into other literature. So I think it's not that they can tell us any secrets or things that or very special things that we didn't know before, but just their personality is very inspiring, and also the broad knowledge that they have and the wider views that you can give on a certain topic.
Well, what about their personalities? Is that an okay question?
I think it is. So I think the laureates do not only work in their specific field, which makes them very interesting. For example, John Hopcroft, I've talked to yesterday, he's also working in a project to improve the education at universities in China. So in his age, he still goes to China more than 5 times a year, which I found very surprising. And they are all still very active and interested, and also interested in the exchange with us.
Let's say that you knew somebody at your university who was thinking of applying and maybe wasn't sure. What would you tell them?
They should definitely try. I mean, you can't lose anything. And yeah, I mean, you have several chances. The Heidelberg Laureate will hopefully Heidelberg Laureate Forum will hopefully take place the next few years still. And it's just really worth it to be here. And so just try and try to get here.
Is there anything else that you'd like to add about it? Maybe either expected or surprising? Or?
Well, another aspect I think that really makes this a special event is just how international the people are. So it's interesting to meet people from different continents and also to just hear about their backgrounds, about the culture in their country.
Now you're from Bremen, as I understand. Yes?
I'm from, actually I was born not far from Heidelberg, but now I study in Bremen.
And had you been to many conferences, many international conferences before this?
Well, to one in Oxford, which is on logic, something included in our research this last summer. But actually, before I hadn't been to too many conferences of this style. However, I went to a summer school of modern mathematics, which took place in Bremen, which also had a sort of similar inspiring atmosphere. And also, well, not laureates, but still mathematicians who were very experienced and could also give a broad view. For example, John Conway or similar.
Oh, wow. That's neat. I'm just taking a look to see if there was anything else. Lastly, I guess, has the HLF measured up to your expectations?
It definitely has. I think, just the area around and also the organization is really good. Just the overall atmosphere really is more than I could expect.
In what sense?
Just how much inspiration there is, and how many ideas and different people come together and exchange what they thought about.
Okay. I think that's it for me. Thank you very much. I appreciate you taking the time.